On the very last day of 2019, the World Health Organization began receiving reports of a strange type of pneumonia from Wuhan city in China. The virus causing pneumonia was not matching up to any known virus, and the first alarm bell started ringing. A week later, on 7th January 2020, Chinese authorities confirmed that they had identified the virus as a new one from the family of coronavirus. The new virus was temporarily named 2019 nCoV by the WHO. And fearing a repeat of the scare of 2002-2003, when the SARS virus from southern China spread unchecked to 37 countries, China put Wuhan under quarantine. On 23rd January 2020, all public transportation to and from Wuhan was halted. 11 million people in China's fifth largest city were locked up to stop the virus from spreading. But the 2019 nCoV had already leaked out.
A day after the first confirmed case of coronavirus infection was detected in India, an Air India flight left for Wuhan around noon on 31st January. It was slated to evacuate hundreds of Indians. A team of 5 doctors from Delhi's Ram Manohar Lohia Hospital with prescribed medicine from doctors, masks, overcoats, packed food are boarded on the aircraft. Here is how India prepared to tackle the situation.
China's Wuhan is under lockdown to prevent the newest strain of coronavirus spreading across the world. And amongst the 11 million people quarantined, there are over 600 Indians, mostly students, stranded in Wuhan.
आज वुहान से इंडियंस को इवैक्यूएट करने की तैयारी है, जिसमें करीब 400 इंडियंस को वहां से इवैक्यूएट किया जाएगा.
Indian citizens being brought back from Wuhan will be immediately transferred to this 300-bed Indian Army quarantine facility in Manesar near Delhi. They will be kept in complete isolation, monitoring for 2 weeks. This comes a day after India reported its first confirmed coronavirus case on the 30th of January. A Kerala student who returned from Wuhan tested positive and is under observation in a hospital in Thrissur. There are some 1,053 people in Kerala who are being kept under medical surveillance.
As per the latest available data, a total of 1,053 people have been placed under observation across Kerala. This includes the 15 who are being closely monitored in hospitals and the remaining 1,038 who have been requested to be on home quarantine until any further notice. The State Health Department has also launched a massive drive to track down the links and people who have come in direct contact with the first index case, which has been reported positive from Thrissur in Kerala. With this, the state government hopes that they can curb any further contamination or infection of this particular virus in the state.
A student who returned to Jaipur from China was admitted to a hospital in the city after he showed pneumonia-like symptoms. Indians returning from China are being put on watch in whichever city they are coming back to.
मैं चाइना के वुहान शहर में पढ़ रहा था. इंडियन गवर्नमेंट का ऑर्डर है कि एक बार स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट होना चाहिए. मैं चाइना से आया था 13 जनवरी को, और उसके पहले मैं 11 जनवरी को चीन के वुहान शहर से निकल चुका था. और मैं वेजिटेरियन हूँ, इसलिए मुझमें उसकी पॉसिबिलिटीज़ भी नहीं है, पर फिर भी गवर्नमेंट का ऑर्डर है तो एक बार स्क्रीनिंग टेस्ट हो रहा.
In 13 cities of India, people who returned from China and showed the slightest of symptoms have been quarantined.
We want to segregate the passengers coming from the affected countries and having symptoms like corona. We want to prevent transmission from these people in the society. So the basic purpose of admitting these patients or passengers, though they are having quite a mild symptoms, is to prevent transmission. And these hospitals like Kasturba or Naidu are meant for that. So all the necessary basic amenities that people and they're doing their job.
While government's misplaced talk of traditional medicine having a cure for this newly discovered disease has been met with apt derision, India has not been taking any chances when it comes to prevention. Intensive measures have been taken and thermal scanning is being carried out at all major airports in the country.
Following the massive screening exercise, which was started way back on 17th January and is now extended to 21 airports and a number of seaports, 234 flights have been screened. Total passengers screened are 43,346. National Institute of Virology, Pune, is fully geared up to test samples of coronavirus.
Bureau Report, India Today.
Here are some quick facts about the 2019 novel coronavirus. 2019 nCoV was a previously unidentified from a coronavirus. Initial symptoms include fever, cough, breathing difficulties. There is no vaccine or antiviral treatment currently available to treat coronavirus. Patients with symptoms should receive supportive care to relieve them of the problems that they are facing. For technical queries, call the official coronavirus helpline, which we are putting out on your screens right now. The government has also issued advisory requesting people to refrain from traveling to China. By 30th January, Chinese health authorities reported a total of 213 deaths due to this disease, forcing the World Health Organization to declare it as a global health emergency. But what exactly is the coronavirus?
The Wuhan coronavirus, or 2019 nCoV, is part of a family of viruses named for the effect created by spike proteins on their shells or capsids. It is how the outer layer of the sun's atmosphere, corona, Latin for crown, appears during a total solar eclipse. Coronaviruses are an extremely common cause of colds and other upper respiratory infections. These viruses are zoonoses, which means they can infect certain animals and spread from one animal to another. It can jump species. A coronavirus can potentially spread to humans, particularly if certain mutations in the virus occur.
I'm declaring a public health emergency of international concern over the global outbreak of novel coronavirus. The main reason for this declaration is not because of what is happening in China, but because of what is happening in other countries. Our greatest concern is the potential for the virus to spread to countries with weaker health systems and which are ill-prepared to deal with it.
When Chinese health authorities reported a group of cases of viral pneumonia to the World Health Organization, WHO, in late December 2019, it was found that many of the ill people had contact with a seafood and animal market in Wuhan. But while facts are still not established on how it began, it is now clear that the virus can spread from person to person.
We are still at a very critical stage in fighting the coronavirus. International solidarity is extremely important, and for that purpose, all countries should behave in an appropriate and responsible manner.
7 kinds of coronavirus can infect people. Apart from the new 2019 nCoV, there are the viruses that cause severe acute respiratory syndrome, or SARS-CoV, and Middle East Respiratory Syndrome, MERS-CoV, both of which have killed hundreds of people in the past. As a nervous world waited and watched what was happening in China, cases in other countries began to be confirmed.
The symptoms of coronavirus infection depend on the type of infectant, but the common signs include all these, problems. There are respiratory symptoms, fever, cough, shortness of breath, and breathing difficulties. The World Health Organization also says severe cases of infections can cause pneumonia and can even lead to death. The coronavirus is spreading fast. It's no more restricted within the Wuhan province of China, which is the epicenter. It has spread across China to different other provinces as well at the same time in different parts of the world. The last check, almost 21 countries have one or the other case reported of coronavirus, making it dangerous virus to attack humanity in the recent times.
On January 23rd, 2020, Chinese authorities put Wuhan under quarantine. This meant that people were confined within the 8,200 square kilometer limits of Wuhan city. 11 million odd people could not come in or go out. All planes at the Wuhan airport were grounded. The World Health Organization's global risk assessment for 2019 nCoV is high. It is very high for China, the source of the outbreak.
I'm not declaring a public health emergency of international concern today. As it was yesterday, the emergency committee was divided over whether the outbreak of novel coronavirus represents a fake or not. Make no mistake, this is, though, an emergency in China. But it has not yet become a global health emergency. It may yet become one.
More than 200 have died so far, all of them in China. Thousands of others have been infected across multiple continents, a number that rose sharply in a very short time span. The number of confirmed infections more than tripled in the last week of January. In China, cases have been found in 13 provinces, plus the municipalities of Beijing, Shanghai, Chongqing, and Tianjin. The virus has also been confirmed outside China, in Hong Kong, Macau, Japan, Nepal, Singapore, South Korea, Taiwan, Thailand, the US, UK, Vietnam, Australia, France, and Malaysia. While little is known about the 2019 nCoV, China has confirmed human-to-human transmission and said the virus is infectious during its 1 to 14-day incubation period, which means that it generally spreads from one person to the other before the first symptoms appear. For now, 2019 nCoV appears to have a lower fatality rate than the SARS virus, but it certainly appears to be spreading quicker. Severe acute respiratory syndrome, SARS, and Middle Eastern respiratory syndrome, MERS, are both caused by coronaviruses that came from animals. In 2002, when SARS spread virtually unchecked, it infected more than 8,000 people and killed more than 750. MERS spread less from human to human, but it had greater lethality, killing 35% of about the 2,500 people who were infected between the years 2012 and 2015. There is currently no vaccine or specific treatment for the new variant of the coronavirus infections. But scientists have already identified 2019 nCoV's genetic code, and the work is on a war footing to develop vaccines to fight the virus in China and across the world.
The World Health Organization's standard recommendations for protection from a variety of illness apply to the coronavirus outbreak as well. India has cautioned its citizens against traveling to China. The Ministry of Health has advised Indians who have traveled to China in the last 14 days or have had possible contact with 2019 nCoV patients to take these, in fact, precautions. Now, stay at home in isolation for 14 days after returning to India, sleeping in a separate room, limiting contact with other family members and avoiding visitors. Cover your nose while coughing and sneezing. Avoid close contact with anyone with cold or flu-like symptoms, maintaining a distance of at least 1 meter. Within days of discovery of coronavirus and its spreading tentacles, China has responded with unprecedented emergency measures like building hospitals at jet-set speed in Wuhan and another outside Beijing.
In Wuhan, China has begun construction of 2 hospitals that are supposed to come up in days. The live videos of the architectural feat is broadcast over the internet, and people across the world watch as 2 fully functional hospitals rise from the ground. The Haoshan Hospital, which broke ground on January 24th, is scheduled to be operational on February 3rd, will have 1,000 beds and occupy a 2,69,000 square feet lot in the edge of the city. With an equally ambitious timeline is the Laishanshan Hospital, a 3,23,000 square feet, 1,300 bed facility slated to open 2 days later. China had built a 1,000-bed hospital outside Beijing during the SARS epidemic of 2003. It had taken a week then. So now once again China is using the same custom design for the Wuhan hospitals. Using prefabricated material, fully assembled rooms are being dropped into place.
Hi everyone, Preeti Chaudhary here. Hope you like this video. For latest news and analysis, like and subscribe to the India Today YouTube channel. And don't forget to press the bell icon to stay updated. Thank you for watching.